Today, I'm going to be doing the one colour challenge. For those of you that don't know, the one colour challenge sounds pretty simple. It's where you take one colour and you make an artwork just from that colour. Most people do this with Copic markers. I feel like this challenge is better suited to watercolour, mainly because it's the colour and water, and you can get a whole range of colours just from using that. This is my Winsor & Newton set. I have a fair amount of colours, as you can see. They're pretty well used. I was going to do brown, but I didn't really want to do a picture all in brown because it looks a bit like poop and I don't really want to do that. So instead, I've gone for this section. There's a multitude of greens here. They don't look massively different in the pan, but when you get them out, they look quite different. Now, I've had a think, and I was looking at like how much I've used them all, and this one I've used like a lot. I think it's because it's quite a leafy green, but because I've used that so much, I'm not going to use it. I'm trying to pick one that I've used the least. I wonder if you can spot which one it is. It's this one. All the others, I've used at least decent amount, but this one is still rounded on top, meaning I've not used it very much. So this is the one we're going to use. Now I just have to get it out. It should be fairly easy because I've purposely tried to keep the gaps in between them. Come on. Oh. Okay, there's that one. And then here is the one we're going to be using. So, unfortunately, beautiful set of watercolours. We won't be needing you today. So we're going to put you away. Here's our one lone little colour called Viridian Hue. And it's this cute little... Come on, focus. It's this lovely little bluey green colour. Also, in my midst, I have my YPO pencil that I got from my scroller box, which I absolutely adore. I have an assortment of very well used paintbrushes. How did I forget the word paintbrush? We've got an 11, a 9, a 4, what's this, a 6... And then this is it says it's a quarter, whatever that means.
1/4 portion.
These are just brushes I've kind of picked up like over the course of my life, really. Like this one's Dale Rownley, this one's Faber-Castell. I think these ones were off Wish. I don't remember, maybe. And then this one, whatever E-Boot is. Don't know what E-Boot, but it's E-Boot. Right, the last thing we need to pick a fine liner. Can I use a white gel pen? I suppose it's not a colour. I'll keep it out just in case. So, I've got a lot of fine liners here. Now, to my knowledge, the microns work best with water. So, I mean, this is normally my go-to one because I just like it. It's like nice and chunky, but I don't think this one works very well with water. Let's try a few. So this is one we got from the scroller box. Let's try... Is it this one? Yes. Yes, so this is another like proper fine liner. So let's try this one. First, what we need to do is I need to figure out how I'm going to get a bunch of shades, or a bunch of tones, I guess, out of this one little colour. I'm not going to be using this whole piece of paper for the artwork, so I'm going to like use a section of it to spectrum the colours like upwards. Something I didn't mention, and I was umming and ahhing over this, but I think it's a good idea. So in my last video, you saw I did a digital drawing. Well, what I ended up doing was I printed it out on some of my nice paper, and I just added some like gold accents to it. So, because I did that, I now have this, which doesn't look like much, but it's actually just the water I used. But if I spin it, look at that, so pretty. So it's kind of like gold water. It looks kind of like a magic potion. So, anyway, I was thinking this is the water I'm going to use for this piece, because when it's done, hopefully there'll just be like little glimmers of glitter in it. And I thought that would be really cool, and I didn't really want to throw this away because it just looks so nice. So we need to get a really dark pigment. When I'm just using it from the pan, this is what I'll just do it like. Let's just see what that looks like. So that's straight out the pan. There's no extra water apart from what I used to activate it. We're basically looking for it's like a dark green, but not too dark of a green. Wow, okay, nope. Probably need less water, to be honest. Okay, it's not quite working out the way I had it in mind. Right, screw that. It's not working. Let's try it a different way. Right, so we're back. I've pulled off the palette from my watercolor set because it detaches and it's cool. Cleaned it up a little bit. This is actually just stained on. It is actually clean. I'm not gonna specifically try and get like a dark, a mid, a light, or whatever. I'm just gonna kind of go for it. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna see how light I can get it, and then sort of go from there. The paper I'm using, by the way, it's my watercolor block. I just prefer them because it's a watercolor block, the edges are like gummed down. So it means that you very rarely, unless you like completely drain it, unless you completely drench it with water, it's not going to curl. I think it's called a Bockingford block. This one doesn't have the lid on it because it fell off. But I think it's called a Bockingford block. I'll put a link in the description for the one I actually use so that you can see and use it too if you'd like to. No affiliate link or anything, it's just a link. I know it's not a massive amount of experimentation, but I feel like I work better when I just kind of go for it. So that's enough swatching, gradienting. That's enough testing out what I can do with this. And now I'm going to try and make an artwork with it. There's one last thing I just realised I forgot to try, which I'm going to do now, is I wanted to try how these work water soluble wise. So just gonna do it up here. Just gonna do like a smiley face or something. There is one more thing I want to try, and I kind of think I already know how it's gonna go, but my one and only original Copic marker, I think it's called original, like the square shape. This is the only one I have of this because I prefer the sketch ones because they have the brush tips, but I did get this specifically for line art because I like a nice thick line art sometimes. I'm fairly certain this is going to run. It won't run when I put it on top of it, but I still want to see if it'll run like with the water. Smiley face. Does anyone else find the chisel tips like completely pointless? I just don't see why they're included. What I'm going to do is I'm going to colour it in, and then I'm going to go over the lettering. So, because obviously you don't normally go over the lines, you go inside of them. So I'm going to try inside first and see how that works. Okay, so yep, Faber-Castell definitely works. Let's go for the Pigma. Yeah, that works as well. Good, 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 good. Let's try the V-ball. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Straight away, no. Like, I didn't think it would because it's like it's just a different ink delivery system, and I think that's the issue. Let's have a go with the Copic, which I'm fairly certain will run, but it's worth a shot. Oh, do you know what? I don't think that's running. Wow, that's not running at all. Okay, didn't expect that. Interesting. I genuinely didn't expect the Copic to be water soluble? Water resistant. Wow, okay, interesting. So this one can get lost. I think out of the ones I like using, it's probably this one the most. So even though this one worked, I'm not going to use it for this. I'm going to use the Pigma Micron in 05. You can tell I use it quite a lot because the like side of it's rubbing off. And then I think I'm going to use this for maybe like outlining, like because I really want it to be quite impactful. and I'm going to need every tool I can to make this look as good as possible. You're probably wondering, Jocelyn, what are you going to draw with this green colour? Well, I thought of a couple of things. Landscapes are obvious, you know, grass and greenery and what have you, but I really like drawing people, specifically women. And then I realised I watched Moana again the other day, and at the end there is a character that's very, very green, and she's a woman. So today I'm going to be drawing, well, painting Te Fiti. So here we have the final piece. I was really nervous because green is not my favourite colour, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it work because I'm also not the best with watercolours, but I actually really liked the way it turned out. It was a little hard to work with at first, so I had to like make certain areas darker than I would have liked and make areas lighter than I would have liked. But all in all, I think it turned out really well. So the only materials I used were paint, my Copic black marker, the Uniball Signo white gel pen, the Pigma Micron in 05, the YPO pencil, and then the brushes and water. You can't see the glitter that much on like this camera. I took some footage with my phone camera that kind of shows it, but in person you can see the little flecks. Anyway, I'm really proud of it, and if you like it, let me know. If you've got any other ideas for colour challenges, let me know which colour you'd like me to do next and I'll give it a go. If you liked that video, give it a like. If you really liked it, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.